The Witch's Curse. Chapter 1. Full Moon Meeting. It has been a few years since my family migrated back to Westlake, Texas. We had been living in Michigan, working on a farm somewhere unknown to myself. I was only a few years old at the time, and possessed little to no memory of the farm. I have been told of the vast brown and green scenery, acres of farmland, followed by a wall of trees just at the edge. Apples they carried, deliciously red and plump. It is almost a shame to pick them off. Within this plot of land was a crudely painted white barn, which sat towards the back, with only a dirt road connecting it to the house. Every day my mother would stare at this wonderful calming scenery, with just my brother and I for company. One rainy afternoon, my mother proceeded with her daily routine of cleaning the house, while we were asleep. When out of the corner of her eye, she spotted someone in the field. It was a young woman dressed in black clothing just under an apple tree, standing very still, looking towards our house. Lightning flashed as thunder roared across the sky. No movement. My mother could not believe the sight she was witnessing. There should be no one for miles, and yet in that stormy afternoon stood a young woman in black. My mother grabs the nearest phone to call my father, who was unable to get home immediately due to the great distance in which he traveled for work. My mother was on her own. She looked for the strange young woman once more, noticing she was no longer staring at her, but in an upward direction. She could not help but to wonder why was she now looking up and smiling. Although her long black hair covered up most of her face, she could clearly see an almost demonic smile. The boy, she thought to herself. My mother ran up the stairs and opened our bedroom door only to find me looking out the window. She quickly picked me up and looked outside. The young woman was no longer under the apple tree. It has been a few years since my mother last saw her, but truly she never did leave. As a child, I will go on to experience some of the most chilling conversations and abnormal behavior. A storm had passed through one day, leaving a beautiful clear night sky. The moon was full and large. The cool wind blows gently across the empty streets of Westlake. Not a soul stood awake that night until... Dad.
Nico. What is it?
Said my father. I need to go to the bathroom.
Then go.
Slowly I turned and walked into the pitch black of the night, headed towards the bathroom.
Damn it,
said my father. What happened? Awoke my mother with a sudden movement.
It's Nico. He's sleepwalking again. He walked into the bathroom and hasn't turned on the light.
Don't wake him up, exclaimed my mother. My father got off the bed and walked over to the bathroom, turning on the light.
Nico's not here.
What do you mean not there? Said my mother, half awake and very confused.
He's not here? I just saw him walk inside and not leave, but he's not in here.
My father stood there, puzzled, knowing what he had just seen.
Go check on him,
said my mother, now getting up as well. They both walked into the living room, hoping to see if I was still asleep on the sofa, but I was not there as well.
Where'd he go?
Said my father.
I don't know.
Look, the front door is open. My parents opened the front door completely, finding me sitting on the porch stairs.
Nico, what are you doing?
Said my father, now terrified at how comfortable I was sitting alone in the dark. I was just talking.
With who?
My friend. She was just here, but I had to go.
Go where?
How pretty this day is.
Go to bed.
I slowly got up and walked over to the sofa and went straight to sleep. My parents were now extremely scared of what was happening to me and my new friend.